Hey guys, today I'll show you how I made this cute and easy spaghetti strap dress with the side slit. If you want to see how I made this dress, please keep watching. Also, before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for more cute DIY tutorials. Here are some things I'll be using for this tutorial. I'll be using a bralette and a high-waisted skirt that I previously made for this tutorial as my pattern piece. I'll also be using 2 meters of this kente cloth fabric. You can use tracing paper or newspaper when tracing your pattern pieces. For starters, you want to fold your paper in half. Then fold your bralette or tank top in half alongside with your skirt and place it on the fold of your tracing paper. Make sure to put it together as if it's one dress piece. Now I'm simply going to trace around my bralette or tank top with my skirt on the tracing paper. So just trace right around it. Now, depending on whether you use stretchy or non-stretchy fabric, you will add at least 1 inch of seam allowance or no seam allowance. For the neckline, you can decide how low or how high you want it to be. I'll show you a little later on how I did mine. Here I'm just continuing to trace along my skirt to create my one dress piece. Now I'm going to go over my tracing with the marker just to make it easier for you guys to see. Okay, so for the neckline, I just used my curved ruler to make a curve. You can decide if you want a low neckline or a high neckline. It's your choice, but this is how I did mine. Now I'm going to proceed to cut around my pattern piece. Now you can label your pattern piece, which I've done because I plan to use this piece for my back piece as well. So I've labeled them so it's easier to see. Okay, so this will be the front piece, which I'll also use for the back. Now I'll be cutting out my pattern piece on my kente cloth fabric. So here's how the front part of my dress looks. So as I said, I'll be using the front part to make my back piece, and here's how I plan to do it. So like the front piece, I'll be cutting right around the back piece on the fabric. I've also added 1 inch down the center line for my zipper because I plan to add a zipper for the back. So add at least 1 inch for the center line if you're using non-stretchy fabric. Here I'm just showing you how I plan to put it together. So basically I'll be stitching right side to right side together and stitching the side seams together. Also, if you prefer not to use a zipper, I suggest that you use stretchy fabric because stretchy fabric is easier and you won't have to add a zipper because it's just easier to wear. But because I'm using a non-stretchy fabric, that's why I'm adding a zipper. When it comes to the edge line for the front part and the back part of the dress, make sure to serge it just to make it look neater. So after you serge it, also hem it and fold it in and straight stitch with your sewing machine. Also do that for the back center line for your zipper. So I've sewn the front and back pieces together. I've hemmed the bottom as well as the top. I serged it first, then I folded in and then straight stitched with my sewing machine, as you can see, and I've done the bottom also. So now I'll be inserting my zipper. So this is how I did it. I'll also insert in the description box on another video on how I inserted a zipper, which will show you a better view from the top. Now I'm going to be cutting my side slit. Once again, you don't have to add a slit if you don't want to, but I just decided to add one. And so once you cut it or decide where you want it to be, either your left or your right, then you hem it and then fold it in and stitch it again. So now I'll be cutting the straps. So roughly I made it 18 inches long. You can decide how long you want yours to be, or you can measure a bra that you have and see what will be the right fit for you. So roughly that's what I did for me. So I just cut 18 inches and then about 2 inches wide because I plan to fold it in and then flip it inside out with my loop turner, which I'll show you how I did it. So I folded it in half or serged it in half, and then I'm just flipping it inside out with my loop turner. You can also use a safety pin. Make sure to do this twice. So after cutting your 2 straps, just simply stitch it on or pin it to see where you want it. But all I'm doing is just stitching it on to my front and back piece. You can use a bra to measure also. So this concludes my tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found it easy to follow and understand. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up if you haven't already. Also, you may follow me on Instagram for more DIY looks. Not everything I record, so there may be other looks that you guys may find that you like. And if you like them, you can also recommend some DIYs that I can do for my YouTube channel. So thank you guys for watching and see you at the next tutorial.